Hey y'all, I'm Lucy and my website is paperglitterglue.com and I want to show you how to make the little Alpine Halloween house today. I think it's really cute and it's very easy, so I do hope you will enjoy making it. We'll start off with going to Cricut Design Space because that's what I use to cut out all my houses, my Cricut Maker. And I'll show you how to do the score lines and set it up, and then we will construct the little Alpine Halloween house. Now let me show you how the Alpine Halloween house looks in Cricut Design Space, and I'll also go over the different pieces that are involved. So even if you know how to use Design Space and know how I do my score lines and everything, just let me explain real quickly all the pieces. Okay, so I've pulled up Cricut Design Space and now I'm on the home screen. I'm going to New Project in the upper right hand corner, this green button here, New Project. I'm going to upload image. I'm working off my laptop so I can find my files easier. So I'm going to browse. Now I have the Alpine Halloween house file, and this is the way it looks in Cricut Design Space as I'm recording this video. As you know, Cricut Design Space updates frequently, so it may look a little bit different by the time you have the file or you make the little house. So anyway, this is how the upload image looks, and that is what I want. And this is the image details page. So if you want to be able to categorize your files, you can add tags right there or add it to a collection. So now let's go to upload. I like to see the entire file, so I'm just going to kind of zoom out by using this toggle button here. I'm going to use the minus sign, and that shows me at 75%, and there's 50%. So I can see the entire file. It doesn't change the size of the pieces, just what I can see on the screen. So I'm going to click over in the layers panel. I'm going to click this button and ungroup my files. Since this is my 1-inch square for scale, and since I know it was uploaded into Cricut Design Space correctly, we can delete that. I'm just going to hit the little trash can icon over here in the layers panel, and now I'll explain the pieces to you. This is for a base. This is a base that you actually glue the house to just to make it sturdier. It does not have a hole in the bottom for a light to sit on. So if you're going to use a like little LED candle underneath the house, then you don't use this base. You could just make the house without a base. I think it makes them stronger to use the base, but you don't have to. These are the two roof pieces. One roof goes over the sharp peak of the house, and this other piece goes in this direction. So it covers up this half of the house. And there are two pieces. There are actually, I guess, three pieces to it. There is the over piece with the little zigzag shingle pattern, and then these are the contrasting color. You can obviously use whatever color you want for contrast. And the roof for the sharp piece, the taller roof, has the same design. These pieces are just ever so slightly smaller than the piece they go under. So this contrasting color goes underneath, and it's just slightly smaller, and that's to give you just a little bit of room at the score line, so when it's folded, it doesn't get too thick. This is the side chimney, and that's what this cutout on the side roof is, to allow the side chimney space. This is the wood, kind of the wood grain, Tudor style decoration. And when I did my video, I actually glued the wrong one. So this one has a peak to it, this side piece has a peak to it, and this side piece does not. And then there are three windows, but the truth is this window gets covered up by the chimney. And I thought it'd be fun, instead of doing a round window, I thought it would be fun to have a bat over the window. So that's what I did during the video. You'll see that in a minute. and these kind of Gothic arched windows. This is the structure of the house, and when you select it, if you'll go over to the layers panel and scroll down, click this down arrow, you'll see that there are two parts to the main part of the house. There's this series of lines. These are the score lines. And if you click on them, we go over to the operations menu on the left, and you'll see that the color of the lines themselves is red. Even though Cricut doesn't show them as red, I draw them in red, so when you see this block, that's a clue that it is indeed a score line. And then you scroll down and click score, and now the lines turn to dashed lines on the piece they belong to. But you have to make sure Cricut knows that these two pieces go together, so let's attach. And there are score lines on the chimney, and that should be done exactly the same way. These are little lines, are the score lines for the chimney. Select, it's red, operations menu, scroll down to score, click the whole piece, and attach. Same thing with the roof. Line, red, operations menu, score, click the entire piece, attach, and the same thing with this one. Line, red, operations to score, click, attach. So now all our pieces are arranged and ready to be cut out. And so now let's go to, in terms of types of materials, you can use anywhere from 65 to 110-pound cardstock. You can even use cardboard if you want. I've made the same house out of cardboard, but just for demonstration purposes on the video, I used anywhere from 65 to 110 pounds cardstock, and it all works well. It's a fun little design that's very quick. Okay, let's go to construction. Okay, let's put together the little Alpine Halloween house. That was Alley Cat. Sorry about that. I used 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 colors. Black for accents, background orange. I really like this orange. I got it from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. It's kind of a burnt orange, not a neon-y orange. I really like it. And I actually used 2 different shades of purple because I wanted the chimney to stand out. I've got a little bit of vellum I'm going to put behind the windows and barely art glue. I cut it out with my Cricut. I used just kind of a regular mat, the fine cut blade, and I use the scoring tool. You're welcome to use the scoring wheel if you want, but I like to use the scoring tool. And those are the main supplies for the Alpine Halloween house. This is a little house. I think it's about 3 inches wide. Let me get my ruler. Yes, it's just under 3 inches wide. So it's kind of nice, like almost like a party favor or something you could tuck into like a little place. Okay, the first thing I do after, cutting everything out, fold along all the score lines. That really simplifies things. It helps you with placement, and so fold along all the score lines and make sure that everything folds in a good 90-degree angle. And once you do that, then let's decorate the house itself. Let me move the other stuff out of the way. I'll show you the roof line and how it goes together and the chimney once we decorate the house. So what makes it kind of an Alpine house to me is this wood trim, this decorative trim. Some people call these half timber houses, and they're also structurally made similar to a Tudor house. So it's this wood trim that gives them their unique. So it's the wood trim that gives them their unique flavor. And I think having the black trim really looks good for a Halloween house. You don't need much glue. You probably used too much already. And I'm putting the trim on before I do the vellum behind, because vellum can get kind of wrinkly, so I'm trying to make sure all the other parts are glued down before I apply the vellum. These are the side pieces. This is not the right piece. This is the right piece. I'll just glue it on top because there's a little peak here. This one is partially obscured by the chimney, but still. So there are 3 windows in the pattern, but the truth is the chimney's going to cover up one of them. So you don't actually have to do that. And for this one, instead of doing the circular window, I'm actually just going to put a bat there. And I think it'll show up well with the vellum behind it. And here's the little kind of Gothic door. And I'm just going to kind of anchor the bat by the wings, by the edge of the wings. And I was going to put one bat on the back too. Remember, this little hole is what I call a light hole, based on kind of vintage putz houses, the little Christmas houses used in a village to make a village for Christmas. Okay, now let's add some pieces of vellum. I've got a piece I cut out here. So looks. See, I think it makes the bat show up better. And we need it for the side. And again, really, we only need it for this side. Wait, which side? This side. Because the chimney's going to go on this side. So that's really the only other place we need our vellum. We don't need it in the back. That's in case you want to put a little string of lights or put it in front of a candle or an LED candle. There we go. So that is the main structure of the Alpine Halloween house. And let's add glue to the side glue tab, which helps put the whole thing together. And the most important thing is to line up these edges so that the house will stand up straight. And now, remember, I generally use roof flaps, this little flap, to help keep this structure straight. So we glue these roof tabs to the roof flap, and it just makes it a much stronger house. Because of the shape of this house, there's no way to have a roof tab here, roof flap here, but we do have it on the opposite side. It's still, it helps keep it square. It really helps. I'm sure you've heard me say that over and over. This little scrap of painter's tape. And these flaps still help when you put the roof on. It gives a better glue surface, so they're still useful. Okay, these are the roof tabs, the roof flaps for the side roof. Okay. Yeah, and if you'd rather have just a circular window, that's one of the options. That is an option you have. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll show you how the roof goes together. So to construct the roof, there are 2 pieces. Well, there are 2 main roof pieces. This is the roof for the taller peak, and this is the background color for it, and this is the side peak with its background color. So let's go ahead and glue the background pieces in place, and I made them just slightly shorter than the over roof so there's room for it to fold. So I'm going to apply glue to the back of this with all the cutouts on it, trying to minimize showing the glue showing through. Now, on some of my little houses, I actually do individual rows of shingles. That's actually my favorite. But if you're trying to do something quickly, this is a much faster way of making, a decorative roof. And you could use a brighter color, like a bright yellow or something. But I figured since the house was orange, that the black zigzag pattern was good enough. Okay, so you see how it'll fit. Now let's do the same thing for the side roof. Let those dry. And while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and make the chimney. It's just a simple straight up and down chimney. I didn't do anything special to it. You could draw on it if you wanted to draw like a chimney pattern. Oh, and the glue goes on this angled piece. This side is slightly smaller so that it fits inside the other one. And it's basically, you're making a square shape. Okay, that's the chimney. The two roof pieces. That's Alley Cat in the corner. Now, I always do the big one first, the larger roof, the taller roof, because the side roof goes on top of it. Let's apply glue to these edges. And I always like to have some down at the bottom too, to hold the bottom part of the roof down. Shoot. Now, if I was patient, I would wait just a minute, let it get tacky, but I'm not today. And be sure you tuck it down tightly into that crease that it fits well. And apply a little pressure. You could do it from the inside. Okay, now this chimney goes like this. Isn't it a cute little house? I made a whole Alpine Village wreath for Christmas and used a lot of this Tudor style decor, this half timbered decor. And I thought, I bet this will look good with the Halloween house, and I really like how it looks. I think it has a lot of personality. Now just kind of slide it along. Wipe off your excess glue. Very common for me, glue blobs. Oh, I like this. And then once the roof is adhered well, then I'll glue the chimney to the side. I'll do that in just a minute once they dry. Okay, I think we've waited long enough so that we can adhere the chimney. And basically all I do is apply glue to the side of the chimney. If you want to. And once again, you want to make sure the bottom of the chimney lines up with the bottom of the house. Apply a little pressure to keep it in place. And there is just the cutest little Alpine Halloween house, I think. I'm going to glue it on a base which I made with just glued together several layers of cardboard, and it'll make just like, I don't know, a little party favor or just a little decoration you could put on a bookshelf, or or just put it on a room. There is room for an LED light inside. Let me make sure. You need 1.5 inches. Yes. If you would just want to set it over an LED light, you can do one of the little tiny candles lights, or put a string of those tiny lights in there. But anyway, that's how you make the Alpine Halloween house. So if you like the little Alpine Halloween house, I think you'll like the houses I did for the Alpine Village wreath. I've got a workshop that you can buy, making all these adorable little Alpine houses for Christmas, and they fit on a wreath. They've got kind of little holes in the back so you can wire them on a wreath. You can use some holes in the bottom, and that's the Alpine Village Wreath Workshop. Okay, all right, y'all have fun crafting.